Hey there, YouTubers and Life Group. Reading in John chapter 5, starting there in verse 1, it tells the story about Jesus healing a lame man by the pool. In verse 1, it says that afterward Jesus returned to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holy days. 3 feasts required all Jewish males to come to Jerusalem: the Feast of the Passover and Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Weeks, also called Pentecost, and the Feast of Tabernacle. So inside the city, there was this pool of Bethesda, and crowds of sick people would lay around that pool. And then one of them was this guy in this story that had been laying there sick for 38 years. And it just had become a way of life for him, and no one had ever helped him. And probably no desire to even help himself. His situation looked hopeless. And there in verse 6, when Jesus saw him and knew that he had been ill for a long time, he asked him, "Would you like to get well?" Now stop right there for a moment and think, why would Jesus ask that question? If you were laying sick, paralyzed for 38 years, 38 minutes for that matter, for me, I'm going to be saying, "Yes, Lord, I want to be healed." But that was the question that Jesus asked. So let that sink in your life. If Jesus is asking you today, do you want to get well? The song, "It Is Well With My Soul," comes to mind when I think of that. The man is thinking to get well, he needs to get into the pool, because that was what was said. It could be a healing pool, and he had no one to help him. But of course, we know that Jesus was meaning otherwise, to be healed just by having the faith. And then in verse 8, Jesus told him, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and walk." And of course, we know instantly the man was healed. He rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking. Now, this miracle happened on the Sabbath, so the Jewish leaders, of course, objected to that. They said the man who was cured can't work on the Sabbath. The law doesn't allow you to carry that sleeping mat. Wow. The Pharisees were just, looking at the petty rules instead of the miracle that had just taken place. The rule was more important than the miracle. So God is prepared to work in all of our lives. We can shut out his miracles by limiting our views on how he works. If God stopped every kind of work on the Sabbath, nature would fall into chaos and sin would overtake the world. So, today, don't limit God. And if he's asking you today, do you want to get well? You can. You can have his peace. You can have his joy that goes beyond our understanding. His ways, not our ways. His thoughts, not our thoughts. Thanks. Have a blessed day.